Yeah, I can see you. Hi. So you were saying something about people having to pay at the end of, I think, the year to let the government know that they are still in business. I forgot the name. Is it every year? Thank you. So it's every year at the end of the year. Oh, okay. Why is that? Why do I have to pay to tell them I'm still active? I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's not their business. I don't know. I just don't know why. Like, what's the reason that we have to pay every year? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. My question is on intellectual property. As in, I want to know the scope or range of an intellectual property. Supposing I have, okay, for one, I write that if I write a particular story, and then is it possible that I can sign an intellectual property that this is my intellectual property, and then no one can write something similar to it? Um, okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir. No, it's rather a contribution to the annual returns that Pearl was asking of. I think some of us are professionals. Like for me, I'm a professional. I'm a lawyer, and every year I do pay legal fees. And when you talked about why should companies pay annual returns, it's more like your company is a professional, and you need to pay legal annual fees for that in order for you to keep being professional. So we our prayers is that we become successful in anything that we do. But aside from that, there are other negative aspects that comes with companies. And for you to be able to safeguard yourself from these negative issues, you need to make sure that CAC recognizes you. And CAC only recognizes companies that pay their fees. If you don't pay your fees, CAC cannot recognize you as a registered company. So when you have negative issues against your company, you see CAC removes their hands from your company. So it leaves you to the vulnerability of you losing more than what you should have lost if you are registered or you are recognized by CAC. So what annual returns does is you refresh your company in the book records of CAC so that every year they know that this company is active and we are here to protect this company. But if you don't renew those fees, then you're telling CAC that you're not active anymore. So if you have an issue, CAC will not know that you're active. And definitely they cannot protect you from that. I hope this clarifies and adds up to what Amanda was trying to say about annual returns.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much. I have another question. So, some years back, my sister wanted to register for a business, and she wanted to use her name, and the name was taken, which is very, very funny because the name is not is very unique. Now, I have been seeing recently that people have been having multiple names, and everyone is becoming. Sorry, how do I say it? People are having, like, let's say business A is having this name, and you see business Z also having this name, and you said that you say you have to keep the name and reserve it and then continue. But then I'm seeing like a lot of businesses having similar names, and I'm not asking, is it that they didn't do their safety, or is just is it illegal? Because you have to reserve the name, and if someone already has the name, I can't use that name. But a lot of businesses have similar names. So is it that they are not registered, the businesses are not registered under CAC? That's the question.
I don't think I raised my hand. That would be a mistake. But I think aside from, like you said, you have already answered your question already, because the law goes with the first, who the person that comes first that is usually recognized by law, and you don't have to delay. That's why we are always pondering. But Nigerians, I don't want to discountenance Nigeria, but Nigerians generally, we have that sense that if we do things ourselves, it's better. But the truth is, you have to go professionally. My dad will always tell me that if you want to do something, make sure that you do it properly. If I want to get medication, I have to go the proper way. I have to go to the hospital, let them check me what's wrong with me before I administer drugs for myself. If I want to do anything that concerns legal work, go to the proper people that handle those things. There are different things that we need to do properly. Registration of business and companies is not, even though it's open for everyone. Even if you're not a lawyer, you can go to CAC and tell them that you want to register a company. You're allowed. But in order to do it properly, in order for you to avoid these little mistakes, you need to do things properly so that you won't come at the end of the day and spending more money. I'm always happy that even though it's not something that I should be doing as a professional, but I love when clients do it themselves and they suffer, then they realize their mistakes. Then they realize their mistakes. Yeah. Then they realize their mistakes before coming. But I would love to see that people skip that mistake aspect. We learn. Sometimes they'll say if you don't make mistakes, you won't learn. But there are things we have come of age now, and instead of it to one of us to say we should always make mistake before we learn, we can skip that mistake. People have done it before and they have made the mistakes for us to see. So why should we continue to put ourselves in the same shoes like the others, like the people of old? We need to see from their mistakes and skip those mistakes part so that the work will be made easier and all of us will benefit from it. So I think in addition to the issue of names coming together, like Amanda said, there are some distinctive things that you might see. Like for my name now, I have Chomi, which I spell Chom. But recently, I've been passing on my street and I saw other people using Chomi, even though it's not the same spelling. But if from the look of it, you think as if it's the same name, but their spelling is Chummy, while mine is Chomm. So probably CAC might look at it and say, yeah, the spellings are not the same. But if peradventure the business are the same, that is where the issue comes in to play. Let's say, for example, I've created a reputation for myself. I offer a services that is top notch. Then someone sees it and he wants to copy it, even though the spellings are different, but the business are the same. CAC will look at it and frown at it. They won't allow it. But if I'm not able to register mine first, definitely is the person that goes to CAC first that will take prominence. So even if you have created a niche for yourself, a reputation for yourself, CAC will not recognize the reputation because they don't know you and you have not gone to them first. It's the person that comes first that CAC will recognize and register. So don't sit down and say you have created a niche for yourself, a reputation for yourself. So that one will count when you go to the CAC and explain to them. They won't look at it from that perspective. They will look at it from, yes, even though you have created a niche for yourself, this guy came first and we're obligated to register him because he's the only one that came first. So don't sit down and say, since you have customers, you don't have to register. You have to register. You have to, because you won't know where you're going to. Dangote started little, and we see where Dangote is now. Dangote is all over Africa. Imagine if he didn't register Dangote under CAC. You see, he won't be able to achieve what he has achieved now because okay, yes, I'm starting small, but I have to register because I don't know where I'm going to next. So don't sit down that yes, you have a community and they are buying from you. Make sure that you register early so that you secure that name for yourself and that branding.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Moses.
Yes. I have a question. How can I join the community you were talking about? I have you on WhatsApp. It's Wilson, your immediate junior from law faculty. All right. Thank you, sir.